Hey everyone, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into a massive, and I mean absolutely massive, modern digital headache. On one hand, we have these incredible, cutting-edge image formats that save a ridiculous amount of space on our devices. But on the other hand, we have this age-old, universal need to actually share these documents with clients, friends, or print shops without our files completely breaking. It's basically the ultimate showdown between modern image compression and universal document sharing. So today, we're going to look at a super powerful free browser-based tool that seamlessly bridges that exact gap.
Okay, let's dive into this. Here's our roadmap for today. First, the AVIF dilemma. 2. AVIF versus PDF. 3. The browser-based solution. 4. Mastering fit and layout. 5. Complete privacy and security. And finally, 6. Pro tips for conversion.
All right, part 1, the AVIF dilemma.
I want you to really think about this for a second. What good is literally the world's most efficient image format if absolutely no one can open it? I mean, we've all been there, right? You receive an image file, you go to open it, or, I don't know, drop it into a presentation, and your email client or your older device just flat out says nope. It's incredibly frustrating. You've got this amazing, high-quality file, but it's basically locked in a vault, and your everyday software just doesn't have the key.
Think of the AVIF format kind of like a $1 million supercar, right? But you're trying to drive it on a bumpy, unpaved dirt road. The tech behind it is phenomenal. AVIF gives you a staggering 50% file size reduction compared to standard JPEGs at the exact same quality. Half the size? It's even 30% smaller than WebP. That level of compression is a total game changer for digital storage. But the infrastructure to share it everywhere just isn't fully built yet. It's a supercar with literally nowhere to drive.
Let's quickly define what we're actually dealing with here. AVIF stands for the AV1 image file format. Developed by the Alliance for Open Media, it's basically a next-generation raster image codec that's actually based on a video codec. It brings some serious heavy-hitting features to the table. High dynamic range, a super wide color gamut, transparency, even animation. But here's the catch. Despite being technically superior in almost every way, older web browsers, most PDF readers, and standard Office software, they just failed to read it. That native support is simply missing from the tools we use every single day.
Moving on to Section 2, AVIF versus PDF.
And this brilliantly illustrates the real issue. AVIF and PDF just have completely different life goals. AVIF is designed purely for hyper-efficient single-image display. It has absolutely no concept of pages or margins or anything like that. It's just raw visual data packed down as tightly as possible. Now, PDF, on the other hand, well, that's the legacy universal standard. It's built for multi-page documents, precise page layouts, text, vectors, and highly reliable professional printing across basically any operating system on the planet. So converting AVIF to PDF takes that hyper-efficient image data and basically wraps it up in a universally accepted, bulletproof container.
Which brings us to Section 3, the browser-based solution. Okay, this might sound a little complex, but modern browsers like Chrome 121 and newer, or Safari 18, actually handle this entire crazy process client-side, purely in their own memory. First, the browser's native decoder reads the AVIF and renders the raw pixels onto this invisible HTML canvas element. Second, if you're cropping the image, the tool does the math, cuts the image down to exactly the visible region, and re-encodes it as a PNG or JPEG data URL. Third, it calculates the exact millimeter positioning, so your X and Y coordinates, based on your page size and margins. And finally, a neat little library called JSPD steps in and seamlessly assembles the whole shebang into a pristine PDF document. The craziest part? All of this happens instantly, without a single byte of your file ever leaving the web page.
Section 4, Mastering Fit and Layout.
Now, this tool gives you 4 distinct fit modes, and knowing exactly when to use which one is totally key here. Fit to page is your safe default. It's perfect for photos and screenshots because it maintains the aspect ratio, so absolutely nothing gets cut off. Though, it might leave some white bars on the sides. Then you have fill page, which is absolutely amazing for full bleed portfolio covers. It scales and crops the image to cover every single inch of the page and efficiently only encodes the visible pixels, which really saves on file size. Original size drops the image in at actual pixels mapped at 72 dpi. That's super vital for high-resolution exact scans where literally a single millimeter matters. And finally, stretch to fill. This one will completely distort your image to fit the page bounds. I rarely recommend it, but hey, it's there if you need it for some specific reason.
Oh, and another truly fantastic layout tool is auto orientation.
So imagine you're batch converting a huge mix of wide landscape photos and tall portrait screenshots for a multi-image report. Instead of forcing them all into one awkward page shape, auto-orientation intelligently examines every individual image's dimensions. It seamlessly swaps the PDF page between portrait and landscape, page by page. It basically takes all the guesswork out of the process and maximizes the display size for every single image automatically. It's like magic.
Let's also talk about quality settings, because this is where a lot of people accidentally create massively bloated files. You've got best quality, which uses PNG, lossless encoding, and high quality, which uses JPEG at about 92%. So if you're converting an AVF that has sharp text, line art, or really crisp screenshots, definitely use PNG to preserve those sharp edges. But AVF photos are already lossy compressed. Wrapping a lossy photo in a lossless PNG inside a PDF, that won't magically recover any lost detail. It literally just inflates your file size. Choosing high-quality JPEG 92% is visually identical to the naked eye for photos, but it gives you a final PDF file that is 5 to 10 times smaller. It's a huge difference.
All right, Section 5, Complete Privacy and Security.
So, the crucial point here is this exact phrase, zero network transfer. Think about it. With a lot of online converters, you upload your sensitive financial receipts, private family photos, or unreleased designs to some random server out in the cloud, wait for them to process, and then download the result. Nope, not here. Your files are read directly from your device right into your browser's memory using the File API. Absolutely nothing is uploaded over the network, ever.
Let's just walk through these security pillars quickly to put your mind fully at ease. All the heavy lifting, the image decoding, the quality re-encoding, the PDF assembly, it all happens exclusively through client-side JavaScript. There are no databases, there are no cloud buckets storing your files. You also benefit from total session isolation. The generated PDFs only exist as temporary in-memory objects. The exact second you close that browser tab or click Upload New Files, all that data is instantly, permanently destroyed from memory. Poof, gone. Plus, AVIF metadata, like the EXF data that contains your camera model or the exact GPS coordinates of where you took a photo, that is completely stripped out during the Canvas decoding process. It is a 100% private, secure environment.
Finally, Section 6, Pro Tips for Conversion.
Now, what's really interesting about this is navigating the physical limits of your actual computer. Decoding AVIFs is incredibly memory intensive. Processing 20 4K images can easily chew up over a gigabyte of RAM and totally freeze your browser. So, pro tip number 1, use JPEG quality instead of PNG for large batches to drastically manage those browser RAM limits. Tip 2, if you want a PDF page that identically matches your image's custom proportions, don't use standard A4 or letter, just select Fit to Image Size. Tip 3, remember that most home printers just cannot print all the way to the absolute edge of the paper, so always apply at least a small 10mm margin so your content doesn't get clipped. And lastly, if you have a massive batch, say 50 images, always convert just a single image first to verify your layout before committing to the whole batch. It'll save you a ton of headache. By bridging the gap between next-generation image efficiency and the world's most universal document standard, you now have total control. So I'll leave you with this question to chew on. What old, incompatible files, high-res scans, or digital receipts can you finally digitize, organize, and seamlessly share with the world today? Armed with these layout tools, you no longer have to sacrifice the amazing storage benefits of AVIF just to ensure your files can actually be opened by whoever receives them. Thanks so much for hanging out with me on this explainer. Now go get out there and start organizing.